Hello, everybody, and welcome to Miscellaneous Candor, frank, honest, and otherwise outspoken. This is episode 70, everyone, and this will be our last episode before we end 2025. Steven, can you believe it?
I cannot believe it, but let me do my intro first. Remember my intro. Hello.
I know. I said, Steven, can you believe it? I figured you would do your intro.
Steven with a PH Kennedy, Robbie, with a PH.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Can you even hear me?
What do you mean?
Hear me? Oh, I guess you can hear me.
Oh yeah, I was ignoring you.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just making sure that that's all it was, because sometimes we have audio, visual.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, keep going. Do your intro.
I cannot believe we're in our 70th episode. It's wild. It is wild. And
that's great.
Yeah, I can't believe where the time has gone. We've been having a lot of fun talking about our 3 umbrella topics and kind of digging in and having guests on our show, and Robbie getting all feisty. It's been good time. Don't
try to stereotype me talking about Robbie getting all feisty. You get feisty too.
Explain how.
It is.
How?
It is.
How?
It is.
Tell me. Where's the stereotype? I don't understand. Explain, please.
Because always like women get feisty.
What?
You are out of control a lot of times.
A horrific idea. That's terrible. I mean,
that's right up your alley, bad friends. But right up your alley, bad friends. Okay, but seriously though, we're joking. It has been really great. I can't believe we're at episode 70. We have like a true little following of people. We keep growing. Did we record? We kind of recorded last week. We're like over about a week and a half this time, and we've been off on our days. We will try to go back to every Tuesday, everyone. It's been a little hectic with the holidays.
It's been a lot going on.
Steven's recovery and just everything. So we're hoping, right, Steven? Are we going to try to go back?
That sex change was painful, I'll tell you. It was not easy.
Oh my God, not the sex change.
You don't want to talk about my sex change? I feel like, it's kind of...
Why are you lying to people? Let's not
do that. Change. I apologize.
Okay.
It could have been.
Oh my God. Okay. This is not going to be a top episode if we keep talking about this stuff. So, let's seriously though, we are going to try to get back to Tuesdays, guys, but we really appreciate you listening to us every week anyway, because we have been consistent about that. And I cannot believe it's our 70th episode. Yeah, it's amazing. And we're on YouTube too. I know I keep saying that, but yes. So please follow. Look for us to have a new website, hopefully at early part of 2026. Look for us to just have more things going on. We're really going to try to expand this even more in 2026, right, Steven?
Oh yeah. I think 2026 is going to be a good time. Like you said, we are always looking for ways to take it to the next level. So I think you can anticipate a lot more excitement, Robbie. I don't know if you look forward to excitement when I say that, but I'm going to spring some things at you, and it's going to be a good time.
Lord help me all. Okay, so Steven, you were good. I was bad over the holidays. We're still coming up on New Year's, but you listened to a podcast. I did not.
You did not, Robbie. You didn't even listen to Scott Galloway? Not even? Also too?
There was some, yeah, I did, but there were some, it was kind of like a recap of things, and it was here and there. I didn't listen to it intently like I have in the past because I had stuff to do.
Okay.
Yeah, like life and work and
more important than our audience members? Huh. I didn't feel
that. Yeah, and I'm sure that they would agree.
That way. For me, our audience is number 1, numero uno, Robbie.
Oh my God, here he goes. He's brown nosing or kissing ass, guys. Just remember that. Go on, Steven. Yeah, go on.
This is a rough episode already. First, I'm stereotyping about women, and now I'm brown nosing. I feel like you don't let the authentic Steven come out and play, you know? I feel stifled. I feel
Oh
stifled.
my God.
I
Come out
feel
and
stifled.
play, Stephen. Okay, so what
I
did
feel
you
like,
listen to?
I feel like 2025 has been about feeling. Let's talk about feelings first. I feel like 2025, I felt a little stuck because there are things I want to say and talk about, but I felt I was being pulled back in by you, Robbie. Like you weren't letting me express myself. So I'm hoping 2026, I can be myself and we can talk about the things I'd like to talk about.
So let's talk about the podcast that you listen to,
Sure, we can
Stephen.
do that. See, she just ignored me, guys. She just went right over that. That's okay though. We'll talk about it. I think what we should have a therapist join us on one of our episodes in 2026, and we can talk through our relationship problems. Robbie,
Okay, speaking of relationships, isn't that a part of the podcast that you
that
listen to,
is what
Stephen?
a great segue. So I was listening to a very interesting podcast. I'm trying to remember. I don't know how I stumbled upon this, but I'm trying to put a more conscious effort into rather than, you know, actively seeking out interesting podcasts. I'm finding that the more insightful and the more valuable podcasts I'm coming across are through just naturally bumping into them. You know what I mean?
What? No, explain what you mean by naturally bumping into
I mean,
podcast.
just through being on social or on social media, and I come across a clip from YouTube, and I check it out, and I think, well, let me delve a little deeper into this. I go to their podcast, their episodes, or if I'm talking to someone and they mention an interesting podcast, um, I you know I'm finding that the natural coming across a podcast organically is I'm coming across more interesting, more useful podcasts than I would if I say, hey, let me go look for an interesting podcast that I can that I think is interesting, and I think it'd be interesting for myself and for Robbie and for our audiences. So just from organically coming across podcasts and finding those podcasts to be more insightful. You know what I mean?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Um,
All right. So what was
so
this
this
one
one's
about?
called uh, Junkyard Mayhem with Squirmy and Grubs. Now that's a lot to hear.
What's it called?
Oh,
Junkyard Mayhem with who?
Junkyard Mayhem with Squirmy and Grubs.
You always gotta go dirty.
Dirty.
Okay, go on.
I can't believe you. Wow. Squirrel.
It's called Junkyard
It is,
Mayhem.
but squirrel. Yeah. So they actually explain on one of their episodes why they named it Junkyard Mayhem, Squirmy and Grubs. So Junkyard Mayhem was something that the the husband it's a husband and wife podcast. So just let me just take a step back. So
Mm-hmm.
basically it's a podcast about two individuals. One is disabled and he's in a wheelchair, the husband, and the wife is not disabled, and it's about their relationship. So they met online. He was a activist for some, I can't remember which organization that helps disabled people, but she saw a video of his on YouTube, and she wrote a message to him, and they started communicating, and their relationship slowly evolved from that, and they eventually started dating when they were very young in college, or she was in college,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually got married, and they got a lot of heat for it. She got a lot of heat. A lot of people talk trash because he's disabled and she is not, and people would say horrific things. Um, and they started a YouTube channel together just without any purpose, and they saw that they gained a lot of followers very fast. because people I mean, this is what I'm thinking, is that people want to see what a relationship like that would be like, because there's that natural curiosity. And so when they saw the floodgates open, they saw all these followers come in all of a sudden. They decided, wait a second, let's make a purpose of this to help people, to enlighten people. And so they started kind of moving forward with a purpose, and then they eventually started a podcast, I think in 2023. And it's all about educating people and letting people know what it truly is to be disabled and to be in a relationship with a disabled person, and for the disabled person to be in a relationship with a non-disabled person, and their daily issues and their daily happiness, and to reduce the stigma that's out there about handicapped individuals. So I thought it's a great podcast, just letting people into their daily lives, and into the daily problems that can occur, and how they address them. So it's also it's I see it as kind of reducing the stigma around this kind of thing, and letting people know what it's truly like in this kind of relationship, but also just larger lessons in life on how to handle problems. I mean, these two have been through a lot, and the way they handle it with grace is impressive, and the manner in which they go about it. And you'll see that they have a lot of humor in their lives, right? You cannot get through,
Uh-huh.
the issues that they dealt with without having humor. You have to look at it from a different lens, and I think it's overall
So what was your favorite part of the podcast?
my favorite part.
Yeah, what was, like, the part that stood out to you that had the most impact and you were like, "Wow, this is great."
I mean, I think all of it, just there's not one specific episode, but I
How many episodes did you listen
I
to?
listened to about 7 or 8. Well,
Oh, wow. You really
I'm
this.
sorry.
I said
Yeah,
you really
yeah, yeah.
liked
I
this. You
think
really liked this
you
podcast.
know. So even if it's not, even if there are portions that are not personally, useful for myself, I just think it's a great podcast. They're doing a good service, and that the fact that they're out there putting their personal lives out there, I think they're doing a great service to the public, and so that's what keeps me engaged as well. So I highly recommend it to you, and also to our audience members. Like I said, even if you don't think, even if you don't think this would be helpful because you're not in a relationship or a friendship with someone in the same situation, just the overall life lessons you get from this, are just kind of how to think about life in general and how to approach life. That's what you can get out of this as well.
Okay.
So yeah, check it out, Robbie.
Okay.
And
I will
again, it's
check it out.
called Junkyard Mayhem with Mermaid.
Junkyard Mayhem. We will link it in the show like we
And
always do.
just to give you, so the reason why it's called Junkyard Mayhem with Squirmy and Grubs, the reason why, so Squirmy is the nickname for the wife, and the husband calls her Squirmy because she's always moving all about in bed at night, and she doesn't sit still. She doesn't sleep still. And his nickname is Grubs because he's always got sweaty palms. So that's what it's about. Nothing dirty, Robbie. Like you, nothing dirty like you thought, Robbie.
Hey, dirty has a variety of different
This is
meanings.
true. This is true.
Meanings. So I wasn't necessarily going. I don't know where
You
you
know
were
where my
going,
mind goes.
Stephen. Where were
You
you
know where my
going?
mind.
What were you
No, I was
thinking?
thinking dirty, dirty, getting down dirty.
Of course you were. Oh, okay. Well, I definitely will post that so people can follow it. So I can't believe again that we are
You
at
know,
another
sorry,
year.
sorry, just to go back,
What?
I'd say, so I think the podcast across the board, it's hard hitting, but you asked me if there was one that hit, specifically.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, one
this
thing,
one it
yes.
it didn't hit me personally, but there was an episode where they were talking about their um results of trying to have a child. And I think, regardless of whether someone is disabled or not, you know, this is an episode that many, many people can relate to and learn from the episode about how to kind of deal with this kind of issue. So tune in if you want to find out, what happened with them, with their
Okay.
child.
Well, thank you for sharing that for with
Yeah.
the audience. So, okay, end of the year. So, I was looking back at some of the things that we talked about over this year because, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned this at the beginning. This was our first full calendar year actually with Steven because, he joined in the middle of last year being 2024. And then, so this is our first full calendar year together of like
Oh,
episodes. And I know. Some of the best at one, even though I want to get rid of in 2026, I don't want to talk about him anymore. But I have to say that one of our highest engaged episodes was around Diddy, celebrity gossip, news, politics, and
Robbie,
AI. We talked about all of those things.
you
What?
know you want to talk about Diddy in 20
Why do you keep cutting me
because
off?
you're speaking a falsehood. I know you love talking
No,
about
I'm not
Diddy.
speaking of falsehood. Okay, listen, I let you ramble
Robbie?
on for 15 minutes.
Robbie, you there?
Um,
I'm
so
sorry, you
I'm
cut out.
going
You cut
to
out.
can you hear me now?
Yep.
Hello?
Yep. Can you
Can you
hear
hear
me?
me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. All right, you're just doing this. You can hear me. I was saying that I don't want to talk about Diddy anymore. I really don't. I'm tired of I'm kind of over all of it. It's like I feel like it's done, right? Like after that documentary on Netflix, I don't know if you watched the whole thing. But after that documentary on Netflix and then everything that's happened, I mean, he's going to be in jail for what, almost 45 months
Well, do
now.
you think he's gonna get
I
pardoned?
mean, who
Do you think he's gonna get
cares?
pardoned? I do.
Who cares? I just don't really, no, I don't think he's going to get
Huh.
pardoned. Can you stop
I'll try.
interrupting me? Um, okay, well, then I'm going to keep interrupting you. Let's just do that. Okay.
Okay.
Shoot. Um, no, but seriously, I don't want to talk about him, but I thought it was interesting that the podcast where we talked about him a lot and AI, we always get high engagement with our AI topics. And celebrities and news and politics, those were high engagements. Surprisingly, when we had guests, that wasn't one of our highest engagement
Did you
podcasts.
say it was not?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Except I will say this, when we had Sharuti ready on here, in terms of listeners, for one episode from an engagement perspective of that perspective versus like engagement of, whether people clicked on it, listened certain parts, all that kind of stuff. But that overall episode, that one was
Mhm.
very, very high.
She had some very engaging insight. That was a great
Sharuti.
conversation.
Yeah, it was a
We've
good
got to bring her back,
conversation. That was a
actually.
good we should talk more. We should bring out other
Yeah,
people to talk
yeah.
about health and
We need
wellness, I
to.
think. I think that that's a good
Yeah,
topic
I
for
agree.
sure,
I agree. Absolutely. I think, wellness is so top of mind for everyone across the board right now. Um,
especially in January. Everybody wants to get on the wellness bandwagon
right,
in
right, right, right,
January,
right.
bandwagon. Okay, so let's talk about there's a lot of stuff to talk about with AI. Like, I'm not even going to wrap up all the stuff like a year end in AI because that's just crazy. I'm sure other people are doing that on podcasts, but I do want to talk about a few things. So one, if you're not using ChatGPT, so it's so funny. People say I use ChatGPT, and they could be talking about whether they use Claude, whether they use Gemini, whether they use Perplexity. Everything is called
Oh, really?
ChatGPT, kind of like how everything is called
Oh, really?
Google. You know how like
So
Google is
people
a
are just
verb?
okay. All right. Okay.
They'll say, like, "I use ChatGPT," and it might not be
Oh,
ChatGPT, but that's what
okay.
they mean. So I think that that's interesting that OpenAI has basically created a brand, like a
That's
verb,
interesting, yeah.
right? Of yes, so there's that part. So I was just reading that in January or by January, Sam Altman wants to get another funding round of about $100 billion. And that would bring, this is so crazy, people, that would bring OpenAI in the private markets, not trading, because we know like Apple and Google and Meta, like, you can buy their stock and they have like these $1 trillion market caps now, but their valuation in terms is like, upward of 800 billion, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So OpenAI would have a valuation of over $800 billion
Incredible.
if he gets this funding. A private capacity as a private
Incredible.
company. Isn't that
Yeah, it's
crazy?
wild. It is wild.
I mean, that's
Like,
nuts. It's totally nuts. Anyway, so that's happening. Also, by the end of January, I think it's January 22nd, they're going to sign it. But TikTok will no longer be quote unquote majority owned by China. However, get this. So they said they're not going to be majority owned by ByteDance, which is owned by China, right? But ByteDance is still going to control the
oh,
algorithm.
really?
Yes.
No, then I
And
wonder
they
what
said
are
that
the legal parameters for data gathering, if there's still
that's the thing. They feel like because the data now is going to be in the United States and in Oracle, because Oracle, another company that I can't remember right now, and the UAE are all going to come together and they're going to own TikTok. And the data of all Americans are now going to be stored in America through Oracle data centers. So they feel like because the data is going to be housed in American infrastructure, that the fact that ByteDance still owns the algorithm, and ByteDance still owns part of US TikTok. So let's be clear. It may not be the majority, but they own about 30 plus percent.
You know what I find fascinating is how the US just assumes the US government assumes that there's
I think it's crazy. January 22nd. January 22nd. That's when they're going to sign a deal. I just want to say that. Okay. What were you saying, Stephen?
they're signing the deal on January 22nd. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
So shit's gonna start going down pretty soon. Um
What do you
well
mean shit's
so
going to start going down?
I
What
was
shit?
so it's fascinating to me how the US government always assumes that all the other governments across the world are not as sharp, as smart as our government. It just fascinates me. They think everyone is dumb, right? And I think, yeah, we're gonna see some interesting things happening because of that lack of ability to see.
What do you think is going to
Oh,
happen?
I think there's gonna be all sorts of shit going down.
What
I
kind of
guess we'll
shit?
see, Robbie. I guess we'll see. Well,
Okay, so you're just talking out the
no,
side of your neck.
I'm going to write it down and I'm gonna send it to you, and then we can open the envelope afterwards.
Oh my God. Okay, Drama King. Um, all right, so there's that part. Then evidently Zooks, I don't know if you all have heard of Zooks, but there are also two robotic taxis, and those robotic taxis are now going to be in Vegas. And you can just like jump into them. And so essentially there's nobody that's driving them. So it's like Waymo, but there's no steering wheel or anything. You just jump in it and there's 2 or 3 rows of seats and you just chill and it just drives you from
Well,
place to
why
place.
is this so much more exciting than Waymo?
I think the thing about Zooks is one, it's slower. It's not like meant to, at least right now, to be on the
Well,
freeway.
neither is Waymo.
And it's like a mini tram
Okay.
almost. It's like a or kind of it looks like a large golf
Mhm.
cart with rows of seats that are facing each
Mhm.
other, and there's no steering wheel.
Mhm. Well,
So it's very
so, I mean,
futuristic from that perspective.
then those are already fully live. Those are that's already I wonder.
Well, there's commercials on them if you haven't seen them on streaming. If you have ads on your streaming, I buy the ads because that's cheaper for streaming. But evidently, they were supposed to launch in Vegas. Now, I don't know if they're there now or if they're there in January. But
I
yes,
wonder if they're going to be lined up like cabs, um, at all the casinos, so easy access, wait,
I don't
for
know.
Uber, you've gotta wait, right? And it creates a big, um
Yes. Mhm.
but, I wonder what other places they can apply. You think at, you know, places like, Disney World? What is the application of these Zoox cars besides Vegas?
So I think that they now Disney World would be great because Disney World is out of control from a transportation perspective, from what I understand. Disneyland is easier, but Disney World, from what it's so like
Weren't
spread
you there?
out, right?
Weren't you at Disney World just,
Um,
a few days ago? Where
no,
were you?
no, I don't do Disney World. I'm not telling people. Why are you telling people where I
No
was?
one's don't worry. No one's gonna try. No one's
You know what I'm saying? You got people all up in my business. Weren't you there the other day? Yes, thank you. No, I went to Disneyland,
Oh,
smarty
I'm sorry.
pants.
That's what I meant. Disneyland,
Um,
California.
mhm, Disneyland. Yes, in California versus Florida. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the Florida one, but when I have gone to the Florida one, it's so spread out. Like it's so spread out. You can't like Disneyland is more contained, but Disney World is like
Yeah.
a city with freeways in between. It's kind of crazy. So, okay. So, what's the other thing that I was gonna say? I was gonna say that, of course, we have background. We were talking. Oh, Zooks. You know, you should look it up. I have seen them. I think they also have launched in San Francisco,
Okay.
of course, because a lot of this stuff is based in the Bay Area
And
anyway.
the last time I took a Waymo, they were not highway ready either. So they were just driving on local roads. They were not allowed to go on the highways. So
Well, now
oh, they
they
are.
are. In January, they're gonna start going on the
Oh,
freeway in the San Francisco Bay Area and maybe in Austin and in Atlanta, because that's where they mainly are. They're in Texas, Georgia, and
that's
California, but mainly Metro, Atlanta Metro, and then they're in the San Francisco Bay Area. And they said that they are starting to have them go on the
okay.
freeway.
That's concerning.
I feel like that's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be crazy.
concerning.
You said
That is
concerning.
concerning.
Okay.
That
Hmm?
is, yes, to me.
Why is it?
Because I don't think so from my experience being in a Waymo and um in San Francisco, which wasn't too long ago. It was a few months back.
Mhm.
I just didn't see how it could function on it's very good on local roads, but I didn't see how they could be
Mhm.
ready so quick to travel on highways. Yeah.
On the freeway? Did you feel safe when you were
Oh
in it?
yeah, I did. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um,
Did it freak you out that there was a steering wheel that was moving and you were just chilling in the
no, it
back
didn't
seat?
freak me out, but it did glitch while I was in there. One of the times I went in, there was there was a glitch.
What's a glitch like in a Waymo?
So
Did you hit somebody?
no,
Like, what's a
it didn't
glitch?
hit someone, but it went into a you know at Fisherman's Wharf has kind of a circular drive-through where cars can drop people off. So it went into
Mhm.
the half circle.
Like the
Around, yeah.
roundabout
Well,
things.
yeah. So we went to one of
Uh-huh.
those, and there was a crowd of cars uh, parked in there, and then so the Waymo car went in between the cars and parked, and then it was unable to depart. So it took a while for it to be able to navigate out of that.
So did it drop you off, or did it try to go around and around and around until it could park before it dropped you off and you were just
Well,
chilling
it
going
was
in
trying to
circles?
go, but it kept on kind of jerking and it wasn't moving, so it took a while for them to rectify. You know, to for so there's always people, right? There's people in the background. It's kind of the wizard behind the curtains. So there's a person online with us in the car that was assisting fixing the issue. So it took a while. So
Oh,
it
so
kept
how
on
long did
trying
it
to push
take to get
out
out of
of
the
that spot, but it couldn't. It kept on jerking and couldn't actually get out of the spot. Eventually, though, the person fixed it, and so it was able to navigate out.
and it got out?
Yeah,
And so they are behind the scenes. They're not in the car with you, right? Like they're at a command
yeah,
center.
yeah.
Okay. Hmm. I haven't ridden in one. I've not ridden in one, I should say. I want to ride in one. I've seen them. I've been around them when they're driving in a few different cities, but I don't know. I just, for some reason, I still am, married to having a person in the car with me, but I think I need to examine it because a lot of people, when they are driving their Teslas, they are not
Right.
driving.
Well, let me tell you.
A lot of people are not driving their cars, even with the BMWs too. The electric cars that are self-driving, that one too can drive by itself. It can park by itself,
But
all
they're
these things.
supposed to. You're not people. You're not supposed to give full control over, right?
You're not
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
go in the middle of the street and shoot somebody, but,
yeah,
shit happens. So
yeah.
I'm just saying, people are gonna do what they're gonna do.
I will say though, the reason
So
why I felt safe in a Waymo car is because it was going very slow. If it was going at faster
oh,
speeds,
okay.
I would not feel as
Uh-huh.
safe.
So that's why we go back to the
Yeah,
whole freeway piece. You would not feel cool with it, like, zipping and going in and
without.
out of lanes at 70 miles
Yeah,
an hour.
exactly.
Okay. Okay. Or
Yeah, even
65,
65.
I should say. Okay, alright, so there's that part. Then, from an AI perspective, everybody's waiting for the bubble to pop, so that's another thing. So people keep talking about this bubble that's supposed to
Mhm.
pop. I don't know, like, what's really gonna happen, but that is a big thing that people are waiting to happen in January, is the bubble to pop for AI. So
What?
this is something from a technology perspective. Oh, you want me to go back to the bubble? Because I wanted to say something
Oh,
else.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I apologize for interrupting. Please continue.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you. So, what I was gonna say so the bubble, people keep talking about how everything's, like, interconnected and there's a whole NVIDIA, everything goes back into NVIDIA and, there's only a few different companies, so people are just waiting, waiting, waiting for this bubble to pop. I don't know if the bubble's gonna pop. People are like, "Well, we don't really know if the bubble's gonna pop. We can talk about this bubble. Is it gonna pop? What's gonna pop? What's it gonna look like?" But people are losing their jobs from AI.
Yeah.
I know some people at some companies, particularly, like, customer service people, um, like, people are trying to eliminate all of that and just make it all AI. And I don't know. That's gonna be interesting, and then
Yeah, there's more.
I'm talking about phone centers, not, like, people who are, like, account managers or
Uh,
salespeople or success
so they're
people,
trying
that
to
kinda
make them
stuff, but, like,
100%
people
AI.
yeah, but I don't yeah, they're
Well, let's say
trying,
95%
but a
AI,
lot of these
90%.
things, they do it and it doesn't implement I'm sorry, I'm just trying to finish this thought. They do these things, right, and then it doesn't fully implement correctly, and then they end up having to roll things back.
Yeah, so, well, for something like a call center, for anywhere, you can't have 100% AI, right? It's got to be maybe, if they're trying to do full integration, maybe, 80, 90, but you've got to have humans at the end of the line, right? Otherwise, you
You
would
would
think,
think.
yes, you would think. Yeah.
You would think, right? But the whole thing is that we're not. So I don't know. It goes back to the whole Tristan thing, what he was talking about on that podcast that I keep linking for people to listen to about how people are trying to build this digital god. Okay, so let's not go down that road because I'm not trying to do that before the new year. The other thing that actually is pretty
Robbie just wants to
amazing
sip on her
from a
eggnog
tech
and sail into 2026.
exactly, enjoy the sun, all of that stuff. Okay. So, um, the other thing that I thought was interesting that's actually good is evidently in Japan, some Japan researchers came up with a technology to create a material that acts like just like plastic, but it's all plant-based, and if it goes in water, it disintegrates. So it will not have and create
Wow,
microplastics.
where,
Isn't that
what?
cool?
Wow, okay. I have not heard of this.
Yes, I was reading about it. I need to go into the details and understand like what it is, if it's going to come out, if it's just like an innovation, are they still testing it, all of that. But I was reading it in one of my kind of periodical things that I read to get up to date on what's going on in technology, and this was one of the things that came up, and I thought this was
That would be
amazing.
incredible.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm just so skeptical.
So
I'm just so
take a look.
skeptical about it. Send me the link. I'm curious.
Yeah, sure. You're skeptical about it. Why? Because I said
Well,
it?
always, yes. But other than that, other than that, just because
Really? For
it
real?
just
Oh
sounds
my
too
god.
magical.
That's so rude. You know, honestly,
You're right.
that's
You're
really
right.
rude.
I apologize.
I
I
think you need to
I
apologize to me
apologize. I
on air.
apologize, Robbie.
Okay.
I have I have
Mm.
been bad.
I'll take it even
I
if you
mean it.
don't mean
I
it.
mean it. But I mean, but
Mhm.
just because it sounds so magical, it sounds too good to be true. I mean, that would solve a lot of
It does sound too good to be true. You said
it really
magical.
does. Yeah.
I don't think so though. I mean, look at like bamboo straws, right? Have you had a bamboo straw versus like, I if it's one thing, there's two things that I'm so down with Trump about. And one was the what is it? Eradication of paper straws. I fucking hate paper straws. They're horrible. Um, and it's like you're tasting paper when you're drinking. It's the worst experience. So yeah, I'm all about getting rid of paper straws. But have you ever had a bamboo straw?
I don't think I've had the bamboo straw. I don't think so. Maybe I might have had it once or twice, but I can't remember for certain.
So it's very much like plastic.
Oh, okay.
It has like that same
It's
consistency. There's no aftertaste or
it's a little
anything
harder
like
though,
that,
right?
but it's
It's like
bamboo. It's a little harder, like, I said very much like,
yeah.
right? Very much like, but it's not you can
Yeah.
deal with it, unlike the paper bullshit,
I've
right? I
had it a
can't
couple
deal with the paper
times.
shit.
And it's great. It's great.
But it's probably hard to make and manufacture on a mass level, right? So I'm wondering how they're gonna do this plant-based one, because bamboo is a plant. So I'm wondering if it's kind of something similar to that, but on a larger scale.
Hmm,
So I don't think it's totally like fairy tale-ish.
interesting. Well, let's see.
Mhm.
Let's see what 2026 has in store for
Right?
us.
Oh
So,
my
any
god,
predictions,
yeah.
Liz?
Okay.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Continue.
I'll let you do the predictions. Is there anything though from an AI perspective that you want to talk about?
No, no. I think you covered quite a bit today.
How about from a celebrity lifestyle perspective?
That's
No Diddy stuff.
a celebrity lifestyle. I did. So one thing I came across with, and this has happened before, where there are um, celebrities that actually, end up on the streets and addicted to drugs. And I've, seen that in the last week on social media. There's some Disney celebrity, but also or Nickelodeon or Disney, I can't remember. But you see it all the time where people are making kind of a spectacle of this person. They're down on their luck. You know, people should not be made, you know, to like paraded around on social media because they were once a celebrity and now they're on the streets and they have mental issues. Leave them alone. If you can't help them, don't post them on social media. It's hurtful. They're just like any other person, and they have family members too. Don't shine a spotlight on them. Let them be if you can't help them yourself. That's my message to the public.
Are you being nice and kind-hearted? Because usually, like, you be interrupting, you talk crap about people, everybody's an animal, like, all of these things, and now you're saying back up off the people who are on drugs who are former celebrities?
I am, but
That's
of
kind.
course it is. I'm
Are
a
you
kind
okay?
person. But there's different levels of animal, right? Um,
Here we
we are
go.
all
Here we
animals, Robbie.
go.
That in the end we are, whether we want it to be true or not. That's a fact. We are
Mhm.
animals. We have
Yeah,
very
yeah, yes,
primitive
100%.
instincts.
Yes,
We are not as evolved as we think we like to think we are. So, um, that's just
that was the dog in the background, guys, if you heard him. But we're gonna try to get him out anyway. Go on. I'm sorry, he just barked, so I had to acknowledge him.
I was gonna say hi XYZ, but then I remembered you wouldn't like me to say his name on air. So
Yes, just for what I mean, we already said it, but can we not
right.
talk about him, like, for one episode? Okay, so what was the other thing that I was gonna say with regard to that? Oh, I thought this was crazy. Okay, so you know my show that I love so much, Reasonably Shady, with Giselle Bryant and Robin Dixon, right? So evidently, I don't know if I told you, we talked about this, I think, how Eminem was suing them because he owns the word shady or something like this. He like trademarked the word
Oh,
shady or
okay.
some craziness. They are still fighting him in court.
That's funny.
And he won't show up. So they're getting to these points where they have to do these depositions or whatever. And he's not showing up to the depositions. He keeps moving the times and all this kind of stuff. Right. So, of course, they're doing that on
Yeah.
purpose. And then they filed a motion to say that he's not acting in good faith because he keeps moving these
Uh,
depositions. And so then his attorneys go back and say that they're filing that because they are harassing him. Okay. Whoa, 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 8 Mile. I'm hardcore rapper from Detroit. You really are feeling harassment from Giselle Bryant and Robin Dixon of the Real Housewives of Potomac? Like, that's what you're doing? Like, for
that's
real?
funny.
Isn't that
It sounds like
crazy?
he's trying to harass them. That's what it's.
Uh, hello,
Yeah.
hello, 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 hello. So I just think that, one, shady is a word everybody can use.
Right.
There's a variety
Right.
of different ways you can use shady, right? And I get that he probably wants to get some money from them because their podcast has done really well. Like they've been on for
Uh-huh.
5 years. They've got over 10 million downloads. Like, you know, they've done pretty well, but not as well as he has.
Yeah.
Like, let it be. And it's not like they're just calling it like Slim Shady Podcast. Now, if it was Slim
That's
Shady
different.
Podcast, I
Yeah.
could see
That's
it. But Reasonably Shady and you're
I
suing?
don't understand. He's acting like he coined the word shady. I mean, give me.
That's that's what I'm saying.
It's,
I think you need to leave them
it's just
alone. You need to leave them alone.
yeah. You're right. He is looking for a paycheck. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, something. He wants some
Yeah.
royalties or some
That's
bullshit.
pathetic.
But, I'm like, come on, dude. Come with your own podcast. You're
Sir.
Eminem. I like your music, but come on now. Knock it off. Um, okay, so there's that part. Talk about that. Um, what was something else that came up that was kind of out of control? Oh, how about this was something that I thought was interesting. They said that also too in terms of our engagement that our conversations about dating and relationships. I guess like all the AI um robots and people getting
Yeah.
married to the AI stuff. Oh, by the way, people, thank you, Stephen, for sending me that. If you have been listening to us, you remember that we brought up the fact that there was a woman in Japan who married an AI. And then all of a sudden, it was on the news like 2
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but we
So
broke it here first.
if
No,
you
I'm
want
not
to get
kidding. It wasn't.
the heartbreaking news, as quick as possible in real time, you come to us. Don't go to the news.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, it was an article that was written. I'm just sure that it's getting a lot of play, but still, that's so crazy. I still can't believe that she married an AI.
Yeah,
after a
she's
heartbreak.
cray
It
cray.
just
That's
shows
why
how lonely
she's cray
people
cray.
are.
She's cray
Huh?
cray.
Yeah, I know, but I guess people are just really, really lonely.
She's cray cray. It's not that she's just lonely. A lonely person that is sane will not do this. I don't think so. I don't. You know what? Things change though. Maybe that's the new baseline. I don't know.
Maybe that's the
You
thing.
know,
Like maybe
the
that's the
young
new
folks of
baseline,
today, maybe
right?
that's the new baseline. I don't know.
I don't know. People need to get outside. Go outside. Get outside. What do people say? Outside. I'm outside. Get outside. Talk to somebody. Just say hi. Shit. It's not, nobody's going to hurt you for saying hi. Be careful though about who you say hi to, but
And
I'm
weren't
just
you
saying.
telling me, or you sent me a link about how? Yeah, you sent me a link about how the use of dating apps is going down, right? And in-person meeting is going up.
Yes. Yes. That's true because people are tired of the whole online interaction and people can pretend and that they say the type of people who are on these apps too are just basically full of shit, right? And there was something else about how 90% of the people who are on the apps are in a relationship anyway, which is crazy. So, yeah, just get outside, meet someone, do a background check, go old school.
Wait a
Like, I
second.
just think,
Wait a second. That's not do a background check.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just talking about old school ways because I think people are tired of all of this online, right? You can only do so much online. You need to get to know people. Like, okay, we do our podcast online. People know this. And we are sometimes in different locations, but we known each other as like face to face human beings for a long
Oh,
period
that's
of
the only way
time.
this is the
So
only reason
we had
this works.
established that.
That's the only reason this.
Yes, that's the only way it works, right? We did not meet online and then had a conversation online and then built a friendship online and then decided to do a podcast online. No, it did not go down like that, people. That's not how it worked. And that's just a podcast. So I'm just saying, like, if you want a real relationship, you gotta like meet somebody in the streets.
In the
Well, maybe not in the
streets,
streets, but outside.
Robbie.
I was I was being colloquial. I was being colloquial. I've been listening to Cardi B too much,
Oh
sorry.
boy, what kind of advice are you giving our listeners here?
I was just
Wow.
saying anyway, but,
Um, I hope
yeah,
that
that is
I'm
true.
gonna. We need to make a little clip from that. What you just said. That's gonna be great. Yeah.
What, in the streets? Okay, I'll do that.
Um, I you know.
We're at
Oh
47
wow.
minutes. Can you believe it? Our last episode of the year. It's in episode 70. It's the last episode of the year. Oh, next year, everyone, we are coming into the 250th anniversary of the United States of America.
Wow. That's huh. And look at where we are politically and socially. I mean, it should be happier than it is. You think we would have
Isn't that
evolved
crazy?
to a point that we're not at yet. We've regressed. I feel like we should be celebrating our 20th anniversary, maybe.
Shut
You
up,
know what I mean?
Steven.
You know what I mean?
You're a dork.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say you're adorable, and I was gonna say, Robbie, that's the sweetest thing you've ever said to me.
No. No. Okay, alright, so we've gone over, but it's worth it for the last show of
Well,
the
I Real
year,
quickly, I want to
so
say
what did you wanna
really
say,
quickly, going
Steven?
back
What
to
did you wanna
meeting
say?
people in person versus online. I did want to share my personal experience very quickly.
Yes.
That
Oh, yes, share your
well, I mean,
personal
I'm not going to go too
experience.
deep into this episode. We'll leave that for January of 2026. But real, high level.
Okay, people, remember he said that, we have to
Oh
hold him
yeah,
to
we're gonna
that.
go deep.
Okay,
We're
go
gonna go
on.
deep. Um,
Oh,
and you're gonna
Lord.
love it.
Am I, though? Am I? Okay,
Just
go
overall,
on.
I've been in my new city for a little time now, and I've been actively engaging with people, going out in person and meeting people. And it's been so refreshing as opposed to meeting people on dating apps. It's just such a refreshing it feels so good to just meet people organically in person. Highly recommended. That person to person interaction in real life, nothing compares to it, people. So all you young folks out there that are listening to our podcast, please get that experience. It's like no other. Meeting people online, it's not. It just it doesn't compare to meeting people in person.
Okay, I think that's a great note to
It just
end,
made me feel
Stephen.
younger.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, everyone, thank you so much for listening. Be sure, I should say, to follow, like, provide us any comments. Definitely give us ratings on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, etc., etc., etc. All right, Stephen, you want to say goodbye to the people?
Well, my friends, this is the close to 2025. It is I, Stephen, with a PH Kennedy, board certified atheist, signing off. Good night, my friends.
All right. Until the next time.